Hi, I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome you to the school board meeting this Tuesday, October 17th. If you wish to speak during the hearing of citizens, please pick up a card in the back of the chambers, print your name and topic clearly, and return the card to our board assistant, Ms. Zoe Marshall. And at the appropriate time, I will call you up to speak. Please stand now for the flag salute by Riverview High School Color Guard under the direction of Sergeant Roger Mitchell.
Forward, march. Colors, hold. Post, colors. Present, arms.
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order, arms. Forward, march.
Honor our special special presentations. Scott Lempe, Jody Dumas, and Lou Stoecklin, would you please come forward? This is for our White Glove Awards.
Okay, good afternoon. Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be in front of you once again. It seems like time flies by so quickly. I feel like we just did this last year, but it's time to do our white glove presentations again. And this is one of the most exciting times of the year for us. It's a time when we can thank our head custodians and their teams for doing such a wonderful cleaning job over the summer. Let me tell you a little bit about the White Glove program. It's a program that we developed several years ago, or put back into place several years ago, whereby we, all of our custodial teams do a thorough, deep cleaning and inspection of all the buildings in the district, from top to bottom, every classroom, every nook and cranny is cleaned. And the White Glove program is an inspection whereby we have several teams that go out at the end of the summer, right before students and teachers come back, typically, and we inspect many of the classrooms, bathrooms, kitchens, front offices, media centers on campus, and we rate each campus in terms of how well the cleaning went that particular summer. And based on those ratings, we get a score, and those scores translate into awards, which we call the White Glove Awards. And so we're very proud of our custodial teams and what comes out of our summer cleaning program. Every year, certainly, but this year it's uniquely special, I think, to stand in front of you and talk to you today, because if you think back to this past summer, if we compare it to 5 years ago, we had kind of what we call a regular summer, and campuses were usually quiet during the summer. Fast forward to this past summer, and we have an especially short summer. So with all the work that we have to do getting in every classroom, that makes it very, very difficult. You couple with that all the construction projects and renovation projects we have going on around the district, that complicates things. But then there is not a school in the district, I am pretty confident in, that when you go on over the summer, there is not at least a summer school, a summer program, an enrichment program, or if none of that is going on, there are teachers who just come to their buildings and work all summer long. That is something that we've had to grow accustomed to. And so not only do we have a short summer, but we got a short summer with people on campus all over the place. So when it comes to cleaning top to bottom, it's much easier if there's nobody on campus. And so when you look back at this past summer, the job that was done in these schools is nothing nothing short of outstanding and really unbelievable in some cases in terms of what they got done and the obstacles they were all faced with. Our scoring is very tough every year, and so when we find a bit of dust in one corner, that is a point off. And so you're going to see some schools that scored tonight perfect scores. That is absolutely amazing, especially under the conditions by which they worked. And every year, I think to myself, as we get done with the white glove inspections, which I'm a part of, and as Lou and I and other members of our team reflect on what we saw when we were out doing those inspections, I always struggle with, what do I say at this meeting to make it special for our team of custodians, our head custodians who sit here today? And I've been thinking about that for a few weeks, and I really didn't come up with anything great this year. And I was just sitting with Lou Stoecklin, we were watching a video, and it was nothing to do with custodial, but they were talking about organizations, and they said, you know, there are millions of organizations. There are millions of, well, not millions, but there are thousands of K-12 organizations around the United States, and what makes some of them great, and what makes some of them mediocre, and what makes some of them poor? You know, and as we were thinking about that, most of them are ordinary, and what makes us special, what makes us great at what we do, and it's not the equipment we buy or the technology we put in the classroom. Sure, that adds to it, but it's the people. I mean, it's the employees of this district that go above and beyond in their job every day, that no matter what it takes, they get their job done. No matter what obstacles, they go above and beyond, and they make us proud. And so as a director, to stand in front of you, the only way I can, you know, pay thanks to this group here is say, they're the special ones in this district that make it happen. And so I would say moving forward, you know, my thoughts on this whole situation is, as I'm amazed at what happened this summer, because I am truly amazed, there's nothing better that we can do as a district than put awesome people in the right place, give them the tools they need, get out of their way, and let them do the job that they are professional at and know how to do, whether it's a classroom teacher or whether it's a professional custodian. I think that's the way we continue to become a great district, whether it's student achievement or whether it's cleanliness of classrooms. And that's what makes me proud to be part of this district. And it makes me so proud to be with all of these professional head custodians here tonight, or this afternoon. So with my pleasure, I will continue with the awards, but I had to tell you that just makes me so proud to be here tonight and talk about them and what a wonderful job they do, and what a wonderful thing it is to be part of a district that has so many people who do this day in and day out. So without further ado, let me go through our awards tonight. So we will start with a bronze award, and a bronze award would be like getting a percent of a 90 on a test, right? So it's there. They were very, very good. There's a few things that we found in those schools, but they are just awesomely clean. And so what we'd like to do is start with those awards tonight, this afternoon, excuse me. So first on our list is Emma Booker Elementary, and head custodian is Derek Wilder. Come on up, Derek. Congratulations, great job. Either way. Okay, second on the list, Laurel Nakoma School, head custodian Caroline Schreiner. Caroline, are you here? Come on up, congratulations.
Congratulations. My maiden name is Wilder. We're related. Congratulations.
Third on our list, McIntosh Middle School, head custodian Jackie Weaver.
Thank you.
Next on our list of bronze awardees is Tatum Ridge Elementary, Carol Quintana.
Thank you so much. Congratulations to you. Good job.
Sarasota Middle School, Naomi Yoder. Okay, we're going to jump to our next level, which is a silver award. So we're moving up that scale. So we're rating about 95% on our test. Our first school in that category is Atwater Elementary, Victor Bazinski.
Congratulations, you had some weak school there. Shaking.
Good job, Naomi.
Next on our list with the silver award is Booker Middle School, Inez Clark. Come on up, Inez. Cranberry Elementary, Mark Montgomery. Come on up, Mark.
Yeah, I got it.
Garden Elementary, Sandra Lanehart.
Congratulations.
Glen Allen Elementary, Maria Smith.
Don't call me so fierce.
Goshio Elementary, Shirley Smith. Pineview, Jesse Llewellyn and Marcia Hill. Taylor Ranch Elementary, Terry Fileri. Toledo Blade Elementary, Olga Andrashko.
No liaison. Thanks for clapping the kids.
Venice High School, James Skopek and Jamie Gore. And Venice Middle School, Michelle Stewart.
Dr. Schmidt.
I promised I would do this for
Carry on up a little bit.
I'm fine.
Stop blocking the view. Great, wonderful.
Only for Michelle.
All right, Jody, let me get these out.
Okay, this next tier is what we call our Gold Award. These are the schools that have scored exceptionally, 95% or better, and several of these had absolutely perfect scores, which means we did not find one item, one spot of dust anywhere that we looked, and so I'll try and point those out. But all of these schools are unbelievable. This first one is, I'm super proud to call out this name, Alta Vista Elementary, Steve Denson. This next school, I had the opportunity to inspect this, and when I got out of the car, I used to mow grass on golf courses to get myself through college, and I felt like it looked like a golf course when I got there, and it just got better as we went in. This was a perfect score, no less. When I read the name of the school, I think you'll be super surprised, not because of the name of the school, but because of the size of the school. Booker High School, Carolyn Redden, and Deborah Purvis.
You did a good job. I gotta come work for you. Don't write me this. I do.
This next school is typically a perfect score every year. It's unbelievable. I'm sitting right in the front here. Gulfgate Elementary, Jeff Severson.
Congratulations, you all did a great job after the hurricane. Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Next school, also an elementary school, always top of the list, usually a perfect school every year. Lomark Elementary, Dominic Palumbo. Come on up, Dominic.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you. No problem, anytime. You let me know when you need it. I try. You try. Every year. Good job.
This next school, I believe this is the first time at their top score, for getting our gold award. I may be wrong, but I think it is. Philippi Shores Elementary, Carly Tompkinson. Congratulations.
Good job.
Congratulations. This next school, typically at our top every year, also unbelievable because of the size of the building, the length of the hallways. I'm sure you've been there. Riverview High School, Tommy Watts and Desiree Dirks.
Congratulations to you.
Good job, congratulations.
Nice with you.
So I'm sick of her.
Our next school, absolutely a perfect score this year. STC, main campus, Denise Pignotti and Laura Costa.
Congratulations to you. Congratulations. How are you?
Tuttle Elementary, Luz Ramirez, also a perfect score. Come on up, Luz.
Congratulations to you. Thank you.
Always a name at the top of our list. I think since we started the White Glove Awards, caught them cleaning the paint bottles one year when I inspected down there. This is Venice Elementary, Antonina Dunchek. Come on up, Antonina. Congratulations. And the last school we're going to recognize today, I'm so proud of this individual in this school. This is Wilkinson Elementary, Claude Moyse. Come on up, Claude.
You're not gonna shake my hand. Come on. I'm not gonna let you go like that. All right. Maybe I'll stop by on the way home.
Okay, that concludes our awards for today. In closing, I would just like to, once again, from my perspective, because I don't get around to see all of you as much as I should, thank you from the bottom of my heart. You are a wonderful, wonderful team, and I am truly humbled when I go and look at your campuses and see what you've done. And I know it's not an easy task. And again, it's not the materials we give you, it's not the equipment we give you, it's you in those seats that make it happen. And so we are so proud to be part of your team. On behalf of myself and all of the management team and facilities, thank you very much and congratulations.
Mr. Robinson?
First off, I'm probably going to steal my other board members' thunder, but I think it's going to be a recurring theme. Thank you so much for everything you guys did with Hurricane Irma. We briefly talked about the referendum this afternoon, but I think one of the things that's going to resonate with the community is how much we gave back to the community, and you guys played a big role in that. I also wanted to say I did a couple of stints as a custodian member, but I probably didn't do a very good job because nobody asked me to come back for the deep cleaning. All I heard every time was, hey, did I do this bathroom okay? No. Well, how's this dusting? No. And then they came back. I didn't know about the scoring system, and I wouldn't have been a bronze. Mine was 80-something. So, I mean, I'll be first to admit it. You know, I was taking shortcuts, and the custodian staff would not let me take shortcuts. They didn't care who I was or what I was doing. This is a profession. They took it seriously. They took their job seriously, and unfortunately, they have a route to do, and the time that they have to do it just isn't enough. And yet they were dedicated. I was there where your job was to empty out every trash can. I was like, well, there's only one piece of paper. No, I want when the teacher comes in, she sees that the first impression, she's going to know that we were there, and we're going to clean every single trash can. We're going to clean like it's never been cleaned before. But I mean, the dedication that we have here. I just want to tell a quick story. I know I've said it before, but I got on the phone. I had an old-fashioned phone, and I was calling Barry Dubin, the head of the union. I was like, you know, if you guys ever need help with the custodians, you know, I'm there to help you guys because this is hard work. And then Natasha, the custodian at Venice L, comes to me and goes, phone call, blank, lunch only. And I'm like, I'm talking to Barry Dubin, the head of the union, about the custodians. I'm a school board member. I know no Dubin. I know work. You know work. I was like, okay, gotta go. You have nothing but my respect and admiration for all that you guys have to do in the short period of time that you guys have to do it. And you guys, you literally make us look good. And so thank you, thank you, thank you.
Mrs. Brown?
You did steal my thunder. A lot of things I wanted to say were some of the things Eric did. I did not clean toilets at the schools, I must admit, but whenever I visit a school and I have somebody with me, I make sure I go into the bathrooms and I show them. I said, look how clean we keep our bathrooms. You can really tell there's no other public place that has bathrooms as clean as ours. And it just goes, it moves up from there. You guys do a wonderful job, and I'm always, always proud of the schools that we have, and anybody that comes in always remarks at how really good our schools look, and it's thanks to you. Thank you so much.
Dr. Bowden?
First, I want to thank all of your principals for coming out and supporting you tonight. When we have new leaders go on school campuses, what's the first rule? You got to make friends with the principal's secretary and the head custodian. Your success may very well be determined by your relationship with those two individuals. But it's absolutely true. Many of our head custodians have these huge personalities that define their school communities. And so when I see you come across here, I know the impact that you have on student achievement. It's the facility sets the tone. And Mr. Robinson's absolutely right. When that garbage can is empty in the morning, that's an expectation, but it sends a message to both the student and the teacher that what's going to happen in that space on that day is important. So I want to thank you for what you do. I don't believe there's such a thing as a thankless job, and that's what today is about, is to make sure that you hear thank you loud and clear from the leadership of your school district. So thank you for what you do. Most importantly, thank you for what you do for our kids every day.
Mrs. Goodwin.
Well, I also want to say thank you, and thank you for being prepared in a shortened summer and for being able to win these awards as you do every year so admirably, because you take pride in ownership and you really own these facilities, and it doesn't go unnoticed. Every time I go in a school, I'm so proud. I'm so proud of the way it looks and feels and smells, and I'm so proud of the wonderful community that we have in each school, and a lot of that is because of you. I also have a fetish for football. Most people that know me know that. And there's an old expression, dressed and ready to play. And you all make sure that those schools are dressed every day so that learning can occur, so that students feel secure and feel safe when they're there. And that doesn't go unnoticed either. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you for what you did during and after the storm. Thank you for what you did in the summer. And thank you for what you do every day, because we know how important you are and what an important part of our team you are. So thank you, thank you.
Mrs. Ziegler.
Well, I echo all of the statements made here before. I love this award because it gives an opportunity to really say thank you, but I know that none of you do it for the award, the recognition, that there's just a true passion, and you play such a pivotal role in the entire operations of the district. And I've yet to ever walk into a school, ever, or any facility for that matter, that is unkept in any way, shape, or form. And when you consider the amount of the sheer volume of operations that occur there, and the age of the students and such, it's pretty remarkable. So thank you so much. It is truly an instrumental role to the success of our students. So thank you.
Well, there's nothing more to be said, but except thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. I know you had a really tough chore, those of you who dealt with the animals this year, but I thank you again. An added responsibility that was put on your cleaning. But you have such magnificent schools, and some of you come year after year because I recognize you. Thank you for your dedication and commitment to our schools and our students. Thank you. At this time, I would like to introduce our student, Allie Roland from Pineview. Welcome, Allie. Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm a senior at Pineview School this year, so I've been working very hard on my college applications. I've been going to Pineview actually since second grade, so this is almost my 11th year at Pineview. My older brother went there from 2nd through 12th grade, and my younger brother has been going there since 2nd grade and actually is in 8th grade there now. So we are definitely a Pineview family. I think that has given me a lot of confidence going to Pineview for so long. I really loved that school. I loved having been there for 11 years, even though it gives me a very distinctive opinion about, I don't know, my school experience. I know it's very different than most other kids. I went to Girls State this summer, and I talked to other young women in Florida with my interests and my background, but I mean, just very different experiences. So I loved Pineview. I'm on their speech and debate team, which has been really great. That's definitely given me a sense of community within Pineview. I have so many good things to say about it, and I think it has given me so much academically, but also just I think as a person it's given me so much. So I have lots of good things to say about it. If you want to ask me things in particular, I have a lot of 11 years worth of stories about it. So.
Thank you, and thank you for being here today, and your enthusiasm is contagious.
Thanks.
Do we have a superintendent's report?
Just want to remind everyone that Friday was the last day of the first grading period, so we are 25% of the way into our 17-18 school year. Today was a very special day. I see Dr. DePillo standing in the back of the room. Today we welcome students onto the campus of Suncoast Technical College, Northport, and I know a lot of folks put a lot of work into today happening. I had a chance to go and visit the campus yesterday, and I said, well, that used to be my baby, so it's now Ron's baby, and I guess that makes me the grandfather. But we're so excited about what that school campus is going to do for the Northport community, and certainly didn't want that to go without passing.
Thank you. We are now under the hearing of citizens portion, and I have 2 cards. You will have 3 minutes to speak. When you see the yellow light flashing in front, it's time to wind up. That means you have 30 seconds left. So I will first call Raina Bazzini. Raina, you want to wait a minute because they're all leaving?
Oh, I don't care. I can speak.
They were sitting, so I thought it'd be calm for a bit, but
I thought they were going to listen to me.
No, they've got to go clean those schools.
Oh, and I'm so glad you guys mentioned the hurricane, because I was at Tatum Ridge, and I could not believe the wonderful job when I went back. That was really in addition to the menu as far as their jobs were concerned. They did a beautiful job.
Where else could you go for free meals a day, cooked by a staff?
The whole thing. Oh, and the thing when the generators went down, that gentleman, Clint Weaver, I think his name was, he deserves a medal because he single-handedly managed those generators because they kept going down the whole night, and these were special needs people with oxygen, whatever that. I hope someone really gives him some sort of an accolade because he was amazing. He really, really was.
Was that Kurt?
Yes. Yeah.
We recognized him at a last meeting.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. It was marvelous. 36 hours without sleeping.
Oh, my gosh. Well, we did recognize him. Yes.
Okay. My name is Rana Bazzini, and thank you for allowing me to speak. I thank you all for being willing to serve on the Board of Education because I doubt very much that it's the easiest job you ever had. I will make the assumption that your goal is to serve all of the children in the district. However, we may differ as to the means of reaching that goal. The question facing us today is what structure is best qualified to reach the goal we all desire. Traditional public schools, charter schools, vouchers, private schools, or a combination of all. Today's public schools and today's society are very different from yesteryears. Public schools are responsible for many of the things that families used to do. We have broadened the student population to include a large range of special needs, both physical and cognitive, that were previously either neglected or served by other entities. Now the public schools need to do that. I'm here today to speak on behalf of POPS, Protect Our Public Schools. It's a new group that we have organized. Our mission statement reads, Protect Our Public Schools Minnesota believes that free, quality public education is a right for all children and is necessary for the optimal functioning of a democratic society. POPS opposes the privatization of public education. We have no quarrel with locally run, nonprofit charter schools. However, we feel with the continued expansion of charter schools, we feel traditional schools are threatened. The argument of choice is often used as a justification for establishing a charter school. However, if given the proper resources, public schools can fill the needs that charter schools aspire to. Public schools are not perfect. Many things need addressing, but doesn't it make sense to address these issues within an already existing structure? Thank you.
Thank you. Carol Lerner.
Good afternoon, and thank you for letting me speak today. This is actually part two. I'm also from POPS. My name is Carol Lerner, and I live at 1916 Wyndham Drive in Sarasota. Protect Our Public Schools Minnesota would like to voice its opposition to the Sarasota STEM Academy Charter Schools application. We have read the Charter Review Committee's very excellent analysis and initial findings report and conclude that the STEM Academy represents the worst features of the school reform privatization movement that we believe has the potential to destroy public education. The proposed academy will be managed by the Alliance Educational Services, Inc., headed up by Chief Operating Officer Justin Matthews and Chief Academic Officer Jennifer Lucas. In 2013, having left Florida for North Carolina, they became employed in separate high-level charter management positions while simultaneously setting up the Alliance Educational Services. I confirmed by phone yesterday they currently hold these positions. Alliance Educational Services and their owners raised quite a number of red flags and serious questions. Here is just a sampling of them. 1, how can Matthews and Lucas hold major administrative positions in North Carolina and manage at least 2 charter schools in Tampa and Hollywood, Florida, and now do a startup in Sarasota? 2, Alliance has a pattern of intervening or trying to acquire financially troubled charter schools. For example, in March 2016, Florida Newport Education Partners announced that the Alliance had acquired, in a friendly acquisition, its assets in schools, including the Windsor Preparatory Academy in St. Petersburg, which was nearly $1 million in debt. Alliance bowed out of the deal only when Newport Education Partners owner Marcus May was indicted for racketeering and organized fraud and now faces a possible 30 years imprisonment. What was going on there? 3, the CRC report that Alliance will negotiate a purchase-sale agreement with Charter School Beneva, LLC. It states that. The company was established a little more than a year ago by Benjamin Ray Norton, a Siesta Key resident with a long history of setting up multiple companies. Norton in previous deals had served as an EB-5 broker, hooking up wealthy foreign investors with eligible EB development projects in exchange for family U.S. green cards. In one deal in 2014, Norton's Miami partner sued Norton when he failed to come through with 25 promised EB investors. Is there a similar EB deal here in the making with Sarasota STEM Academy and a possible similar outcome? Is that my end or is that my warning? Okay, well, just in one sentence, we hope that the school board does not support this application. Thank you very much.
Carol, you have something. It's me. It's Caroline.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You have something you're reading from?
Yes.
Would you give that to Zoe if you don't mind, so we can share copies?
Absolutely.
All right? Thank you very much. Any additions or corrections to the agenda?
I move for approval of the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please vote aye. Please vote.
Aye.
Please vote.
Aye.
Please vote on your computer.
We can vote on the computer?
Yes.
My little thing isn't here.
We need a voice vote.
Why? You're not go-
Aye.
Oh,
All in favor?
I need,
You played around with your computer.
yes, I can vote now.
Okay,
I think.
we'll
Okay.
vote.
Just say aye. Be done.
All right?
Go.
And the vote is 5 in favor. And may I have a motion on 30?
That the contract between the Jewish Family and Children of Sarasota-Manatee, Inc. and the Sarasota County School Board be approved as presented.
Second.
Sorry.
We can vote on this. I will have to abstain because I work part-time for Jewish Family and Children's Service. So will everybody else please vote? And the vote is 4 ayes and 1 abstaining. That's me. All right. Item 31.
I move that the Greater Florida Consortium of School Boards 2018 legislative program be approved by the School Board of Sarasota County as presented.
Second.
Sorry. I'm too
Under
slow.
discussion,
Need to go faster.
Mrs. Ziegler?
Just for a purpose of clarification, I know we had voted on this previously, so for the public, I believe that there had been additions on, and I didn't know if anyone wanted to speak to that.
I'd be.
Dr. Bowden.
Yes, we received communication from the consortium at our workshop and then subsequent board action. We can find our action just to the front page or a summary sheet. When we notified them that was the case, they sent clarification asking that the board act on the packet in its entirety, and based on that, it was placed back on your agenda for consideration tonight.
Mr. Ziegler?
Well, just for clarification, I won't be approving this for going back to the reasons I stated previously, and I'll be waiting for additional information, but just wanted to clarify why it was being brought up again and where my vote would be. So,
Mrs. Brown?
Just for clarification, the Greater Consortium, Florida Consortium of School Boards is primarily coastal counties from Pinellas down through Monroe and Miami up to St. Lucie. One of the things that keeps us together is that we are more of the donor counties. We contribute more than 50% of the dollars for our schools. In fact, several of us contribute up to 90%. That's Monroe County, Sarasota County, and what was the other one, Collier? Yes. And so they look at those things that would make sure that any other funding issues would not inordinately affect our districts. But I'd be happy to discuss any individual items that you might have that you would like to discuss on it.
We have, you finished early?
Yeah.
We have, this consortium has 42% of the student base from Florida and the property tax base of 55%, and 51% of the legislative delegation belongs in this consortium. So it's a powerful consortium, and it can do a lot of help. And we did receive a list of the successes from last year. What we're proposing, I'm a member, I am the delegate to the consortium. So what is being proposed is the first section is the constitutional amendment. This is the front of the program. This second sheet is part of the program, and these are just additional issues and guidance so that in case our lobbyists want to, are faced with questions concerning this, they have our reports on there. And I like the fact that we have to have all the board's consent in order to provide it. And I did ask the person who runs the group what their plans for the future were, and they will be following the same rules as the FSBA does, which means that if you do not want to be part of the consortium, you will not have to pay dues for that person who doesn't want to be part of the consortium. So therefore, they do not need to file tax reports or file tax returns, or rather. Okay. But I did seek the clarification that was asked. Mr. Robinson?
Not to belabor a point, but that has nothing to do about whether you have to file tax returns or not. But I'm going to vote for the motion just to move on. But you mentioned there was a constitutional amendment. I didn't see that.
No, a constitutional authority of the school boards.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm fine voting for constitutional. I just didn't see it here. So
it's the first one.
It just lists the constitutional authority.
Oh, okay.
There's the school boards.
There's not a request to amend. Okay, I'm sorry. I misunderstood.
Okay. Mrs. Goodwin?
I like being a member of the consortium because it is a perspective of the 13 or 14 counties that are coastal that have similarities. These counties meet twice, 3 times a year and discuss the things that are indicative of those counties, and the sharing of information a lot of times is very helpful in the legislative session and then other parts of the year. So I think it's a big benefit to us because it does give us some commonality with those counties that are coastal. Many of the other counties, of the 67 counties in the state of Florida, also have smaller subsets or groupings that are indicative. For example, the very small counties, which we're all worried about now because they may be taken over by other entities besides public schools because they're finding it very difficult to find teachers that want to go to small rural counties, so they're ripe for picking off and so forth. They all meet together 2 or 3 times a year and discuss the issues that are relevant to the small counties. There's a Central Florida Coalition, Manatee County, Orange County, over to the East Coast, all meet together and discuss their issues. Right now they're faced with a lot of people coming into the U.S. from Venezuela and Puerto Rico and some of the impacts that will bring to their school districts. So it's really a great flavor for us and a subset, if you will. It's more data. It's more definition to some of the like-mindedness that we might have in some of the districts. So it's been really helpful to me.
Mrs. Brown?
When we were discussing this last month, one of the things we talked about was getting some reports from the other boards. I know that some of them from the consortium came forward, but I had also asked for reports for all the boards that our members are a part of, school boards associations, what their legislative platforms was, and I think we'd ask for the budget and the bylaws, or is there any, do we need to make a formal request of that? Or was one made?
Mrs. Goodwin?
No, but I will be conducting a meeting of a lot of those counties will be involved in Gainesville at the end of the month, and I'll certainly make sure that we try to get those at that time because they'll be bringing them with them to Gainesville.
Perhaps our staff assistant could make a letter to the coalition, because I don't believe the coalition will be at that meeting, will they?
The counties that are represented in the consortium?
Not the consortium.
The coalition?
Of school board members.
Can we call the question? We've got a little bit off topic.
We have board members on 3 different boards, school boards associations. We got the legislative agenda for the school board association. Here's the legislative agenda for the consortium. I'd like to see what the legislative agenda is for the coalition, the school board members that we have at least one board member, a paying board member on.
Can we call the question? We've gotten off topic.
Mrs. Ziegler is waiting to speak.
A second. I mean, vote on it.
Yes, she is.
That's fine.
She's on my keyboard.
To answer Mrs. Brown's question, and I was trying to be thoughtful in my approach today, and to use your language, Mr. Robinson, not belabor a point. But to answer your question, the coalition will have its legislative platform formally approved by the executive board tomorrow morning and will be posted on the website. So, and that's to answer that question.
So it'll be on the website. Thank you.
Seeing no one else's name there, please vote. And the vote is 4-1. Is there anything else that needs to come before this board? Mr. Robinson?
I do want to say that this morning, the workshop was, the morning workshop was very, very productive. I know staff spent a lot of time getting that data together for us, and I just want to let you know how appreciative of us that we are. And I definitely don't want to leave this meeting without, highlighting our research REA department for all the hard work that they do. I understand it's executive directors, the principals, and the teachers who actually use that data, but the work that they've been doing on the dashboard and compiling that data, I think that everybody can agree is very helpful. And I think us being able to answer the question, how are we doing, is also going to be able to help us start asking the question is, what are we going to do differently? How are we going to react? How are we going to change course? More importantly, how are we going to, take the path to fulfill the mission and vision of the district? And so, Dr. Bone, if you could take back my thanks to them, I would really appreciate it.
Mrs. Ziegler?
Mr. Robinson, you stole my point. I was just going to say how wonderful and effective this morning's discussion was. I know that there is a tremendous amount of work behind it. I'm very impressed. I'm very pleased, and I know this district's in really great hands, but just a tremendous applause to you guys for your presentation. You went straight to the point on stuff that really matters, and we know how valuable your time is, so we want to make sure that we're not keeping you here in presentations. And again, I'm just very, very pleased, so thank you so much for the time and effort to you and the staff to be able to answer those very important questions. Thank you.
Our next regular meeting will be on November 7th at 6:30. We have Master Board training November 10th from 8:30 to 4:30 at the Sarasota Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, I just wanted to congratulate one of our teachers, Ms. Fox, for getting the USF Distinguished Alumni Award, a middle school teacher at Booker Middle. We've all been to her Dragonfly Cafe, and she really inspires teachers, students. Mrs. Fox. What did I call her?
I don't.
Yeah, it was Mrs. Fox.
I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
Point.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. We are adjourned.